Hi there, this is our daily tarot. I actually pulled us 6 cards today just to get some clarity on the last card that we had gotten. The first card that we have for the day is the Wheel of Fortune, which means that there is a big shift or a big change that is getting ready to happen in our lives. It could be bringing in a lot of help that was unexpected, or some big turning of events that is bringing some kind of benefit to us, because this card is governed by Jupiter. Now consider that Jupiter is in Aries right now, in close proximity to Chiron, not at an exact conjunction, but within 10 degrees, so kind of a wide conjunctive space. But Chiron is the energetic in the sky that's pointing to the wounded healer and the wounds that we are here to heal during our lifetime. And more often than not, the wounds that we are here to heal are also something that we can provide to others by way of teaching or healing in of itself, because once you get through a hard circumstance, you can give people some perspective when they're in that place of unknown. So let's just consider that there is some big shift or change happening this week that actually is bringing in some kind of help into our lives. The challenge that we have for today is the 7 of Pentacles. So we may be having a hard time having patience with the situation. We might want to be jumping over our knees, as my teacher used to say. Like we see where we want to go on the top of the mountain, but we're not there yet, and we're really frustrated with it. It's also an energetic, as far as the 7 of Pentacles, that's telling of some kind of turning over of past experiences and how things have developed through time, and feeling some frustration with it, or challenge or friction by it. So the way that we're going to get through the challenge, interestingly enough, came through as the 7 of Swords. So when you consider the 7 of Pentacles, it's like learning through some kind of experience by way of physical form or material structure. However, the 7 of Swords is more learning through experiences by conversation, or things that we can gather by way of information. So this person in the 7 of Swords is kind of going out on their own. You can see they're carrying these 5 swords, walking away from these 2 swords, and also walking away from this group of people in the back. So it is, asking us to kind of go out on our own and really do some inventory by way of what we feel like we need to put our energy and effort to, and not necessarily spend our energy turning over past events. Now it's interesting because the ultimate outcome came through as the 8 of Cups. And this is someone who's actually like abandoning an emotional situation. They're kind of walking away from it so that they can turn inward and take a closer look at the situation internally and how it is landing on them. Because in the 8 of Cups, we actually have 2 cards that are being combined. We have the 3 of Cups, which is typically this like happily ever after, satiated pleasure energy. And then we also have the 5 of Cups, which is the card typically looking at loss and renewal. So we see that this person is walking away from both sets of cups, as if to say, everything that could be in this experience that could bring me joy is met in equal opposition to everything that can bring me pain and suffering. So I just don't even want to deal with it, right? So they're just walking away from the emotional experience in of itself. So consider that some kind of change and shift in the last couple of years, and particularly, perhaps while Jupiter has been in Aries, is giving us some range of perspective of something that we may have been working with or looking over for a good amount of time. And the 8 of Cups is asking us to look at the cycles of things and to take a little bit of, take a few steps away from it so that we're more detached and not so intimately involved in turning things over. So you can see why I pulled a couple of extra cards just for some clarity. Now, the cards that we got for clarity, the first one is the 10 of Swords. Now, this guy doesn't look like he's doing much. He's not having much fun. He's not engaging in life at all. He's just laying down on his belly with 10 swords in his back. And that's because of some crystallized way that they've been seeing things. And it's almost as if that certainty around limitation has just taken away any sense of will or ability for this person to apply themselves. And yet, when I pulled another card for clarification, I got the Six of Cups, which is a card of some kind of emotional opening. So we're in this realm today of looking over the interactions between the mind and the emotions, and how much the mind can really clip our own wings by way of its certainty around what we should or shouldn't be doing, you know, and where we should be in life. So be careful with that, you know. Make sure that you don't get so engaged and identified with turning things over that you prevent yourself from moving toward that which you actually feel truly called to in your life. You know, we are entering a really interesting time here this month, especially during the end of July, because we have Uranus up in Taurus and the North Node is up in Taurus, and we're going to be having Mars go into Taurus as well. Well, it's been in Taurus, but it's actually going to be in conjunction with Uranus and the North Node at the end of the month, which is signaling a very big change that is going to give us a new direction in our lives. So if we get identified with the plan that we were, you know, trucking away at, and how that didn't work out, or we're not moving toward that, we can get really frustrated. But we have to consider that we're still on the journey and we're still making the path each day by where we set our feet. So be open to the possibility that change is creating an opportunity that's beyond what you thought was possible. And make sure that you listen to your heart, because the head, or the mind, to be more specific, can sometimes be the biggest source of our imprisonment. So during this big shift, you know, consider that as an example, right? In January of 2020, we had this big conjunction in Capricorn. We had Mercury, we had Jupiter, we had Saturn, we had Pluto, and the Sun, right? Because it was in Capricorn. Well, when Mars moved into Capricorn in that exact space in March, was when everything that was kind of brewing in the beginning of January and February really got lit up, quite literally. In March of 2020, when Mars went through Capricorn, it's when everything got fiery, right? It got more energy to it. It had a force to it. So consider that Uranus has been up in Taurus for the last couple of years. Interestingly enough, in this trine relationship with Pluto that's been over in Capricorn, which Capricorn's still there and has been there for the last few years, despite other planets moving on in their orbit and their path. We still have this interesting relationship that's coming up with Uranus in trine to Pluto. And Uranus is the planet of unexpected change, unavoidable change, that comes in and shifts things that wouldn't have been shifted without that influence. Because if we keep things the same always, it's really hard to progress. So change comes in to force us to progress, because we have to find our footing within it. And we have this planet of change that's coming into an alignment with the North Node, which gives us a sense of direction in life. And now we're going to have Mars coming into this conjunction as well by the end of the month. So most of this month is about preparing ourselves and putting our energy toward that which we really want to grow, because it's about to get a lot of support by this energy of Mars and Uranus and the North Node, all in Taurus and all in conjunction at the end of the month. So trust that heart of yours and make sure you question the mind. I send you all a lot of love. Of course, if you are interested in a personal reading with me, you can reach out to me at rootsofalchemy@gmail.com. I also have my services listed on my webpage, rootsofalchemy.com. And we can set up an hour-long reading. I can look at your natal chart and the different transits that are going on for you right now, as well as pull some cards for you, because my schedule just opened up for just a couple of weeks before I'm busy again at the end of the month. So I just wanted to let you all know, in case you are interested, that there is time for that. I send you all a lot of love. Thanks so much for visiting with me today. I hope you're well. Bye for now.